Coming up on Fulton Today, Fulton's district attorney introduces the team that's been assembled to stop repeat juvenile offenders.
Fulton's finance team reveals to the Board of Commissioners the 2020 proposed operational budget and their initial spending and savings plan. I'm Brian Robinson, and I'll have more on this, including when citizens can voice their opinion on the budget.
And they are foster children no more. We'll take you to juvenile court for the emotional start of their new lives with their new forever families. That and much more starts right now on Fulton Today. Welcome to Fulton Today, everybody. I'm Shania Chavis. After a series of internal and public budget workshops, the Fulton Finance team formally presents the first official proposed 2020 spending and savings plan to the Board of Commissioners. So which county programs and services will be available at the start of the next decade? FGTV's Brian Robinson joins us now with that answer and more. Brian?
Shania, the initial proposed operational budget for 2020 totals approximately $1.1 billion. Now, one major takeaway is that amount allows for the continuation of behavioral and public health programs, as well as justice reinvestment initiatives. The other, the possibility of more senior centers in the near future.
I have to commend Hakeem and Sharon. They have consistently been able to manage and do their jobs without anyone's help in balancing the budget.
County commissioners once again offered high praise to Fulton's finance team following their presentation of the 2020 proposed operating budget. Of the proposed $1.1 billion, $758.4 million is allocated to the general fund, a 5.5% increase from 2019. Among the items proposed, Fulton's financial team suggests investing $226 million into health and human services. That commitment allows for the continued support of the county's behavioral health, public health, senior service, and summer youth internship programs. The funds also allow for a feasibility study for additional multi-purpose centers in North and South Fulton. A $372 million investment includes the continuation of all justice reinvestment initiatives and building the courtroom of the future, a program that would improve courtroom efficiency. To ensure all people's lives are culturally enriched, the county's financial commitment to the arts and the library system is $43.4 million. That number is lower in 2020 since the city of South Fulton is scheduled to assume responsibilities for the operations of the Southwest and South Fulton Art Centers. As part of the initiative to improve the airport's infrastructure, $348.9 million is dedicated to infrastructure and economic development.
It will also allow us to continue the blight, to continue to address the blight issues out on Fulton Industrial Fulton Industrial Boulevard. We have some funds included in the budget to be able to potentially acquire additional properties that are considered blighted properties on the boulevard.
And part of the $600,000 earmarked for community outreach will go towards Fulton's 2020 census team to ensure a high percentage count of county residents. Now, this budget proposal is simply the beginning before its adoption next month. Commissioners will need more time between now and then to make additional recommendations. Fulton County citizens will be able to offer their input on the budget during the Board of Commissioners recess meeting on December 18th. Reporting for FGTV, I'm Brian Robinson.
All right, thank you so much, Brian. Meanwhile, commissioners also receive an update on Fulton's 2020 legislative agenda. When lawmakers return to the Gold Dome in January, they'll hear Fulton's long-term transit funding priorities, as well as a request for representation and appointment authority for transit boards. Fulton has a seat on the MARTA board, but no representation on the Atlanta Region Transit Link Authority board. The county is also proposing changes in the appeals process for assessments of commercial properties. And there is also a push for the county to maintain control of the Fulton County Airport.
We are obviously concerned about maintaining control of our airport, which is located in the Fulton Industrial District, which is in South Fulton County. There's a tug of war as to who is going to control the Fulton Industrial District, the City of Atlanta or the new City of South Fulton. We're not in that fight. We're only concerned about continuing to own. We will continue to own it, but we also want to be able to control the dirt that it's on so that we will be in charge of what happens on it and in close proximity to it. So that is really number one from my perspective.
Other topics the county will seek support from Fulton's legislative delegation include ongoing funding for behavioral health, air quality protection, and the creation of a more efficient justice system. The 2020 Georgia legislative session starts January 13th. Well, getting your tag renewed each year just got easier. Fulton's Tax Commissioner, Dr. Arthur Ferdinand, along with county commissioners, attended 2 ribbon-cutting ceremonies to celebrate the opening of 2 more vehicle tag renewal kiosks at Kroger in Johns Creek and along the Beltline.
It helps out Fulton County by giving citizens a way to renew their tags and registration while shopping. So they can come to pick up their groceries, a small chain of groceries, do their regular shopping, and at the same time get their tags for their car.
The automated tag renewal kiosks are available from 6 a.m. to 1 a.m. 7 days a week and takes no more than a minute to complete. Now, as long as your records are up to date, all you need is your identification. You will also pay a $3 transaction fee and a credit fee equaling 2% of the total transaction amount.
That means it means a lot to us as a Kroger because we're all about our customer. We want to make sure that our customer get the best service possible.
The company that manufactures the machines say they are pleased to be able to work with the county to provide customers this type of convenience.
The idea was simply to reduce the wait time inside offices, especially at the beginning of the month, end of the month, so customers actually have more access.
I thought it was a great idea. My renewal was actually due today, so it was really convenient to come in here and get it done in less than a minute.
There are now 9 tag renewal kiosks throughout Fulton County. Coming up in our district-by-district coverage, we'll find out what county commissioners think about the kiosk being available in their respective districts. The district attorney's office introduces its Project Level Up team. DA Paul L. Howard Jr., Atlanta Circuit Public Defender Vernon Pitts, and Commissioner Natalie Hall hosted a reception to celebrate the staff hired to run the DA's Project Level Up team. Project Level Up was created to put an end to juveniles who have accumulated 3 or more arrests.
We developed a concept based upon 3 arrests. If a juvenile is arrested 3 times, then what we are going to try to do is to keep that juvenile from getting arrested a 4th time. Because our data shows that once you're arrested the 4th time, it usually quickly leads to the 5th and the 6th time. And every time the arrests increase, the level of the crime increases.
Project Level Up consists of an aftercare initiative, mentoring, and family intervention. The Fulton County District Attorney's Office, the Public Defenders, and the Fulton County Juvenile Court will operate this program.
The 4 of us, we know starting out we will not have all the answers. We won't. So we definitely, as Ms. Brooks said, we plan to lean on the community. We plan to lean on those that have been affected by juvenile crime.
More than 3,700 resumes were submitted with the hope of obtaining one of those positions. Well, my favorite story of the year. Fulton's Juvenile Court has officially kicked off its holiday season after changing the lives of children once a part of the foster care system. FGTV's Melissa Lewis has more on the new Forever families made possible thanks to National Adoption Day.
One by one, the new adoptive parents went before a Fulton County Juvenile Court judge to make the newest additions to their families official.
God just put it on our hearts years ago, and our family prayed about it for a long time, and we got beautiful girl into our family, and we just love her so much. I mean, we just couldn't say no to that.
Willow is a part of a 7-sibling group. She is number 6 to be adopted of the 7 children, and it has been an awesome experience. I just can't even explain. It's so rewarding to have the opportunity to be a part of these children's lives.
In coordination with the Department of Family and Children Services, Fulton's Juvenile Court team worked to ensure that all of the parents could support the kids financially, emotionally, and physically. And of course, offer unconditional love.
Everyone needs someone to love them and someone that they love, and family is important. So to have an adoption day where children could come together with people who they choose to love is just an honor to see these families getting the attention that they deserve on adoption day.
Before the ceremony started, the families and their supportive village heard from DeKalb County Superior Court Judge Shandina Morris, who herself adopted her daughter. And during that program, one of the oldest civic organizations surprised two moms just in time for Christmas.
It was our honor to join with Fulton County on National Adoption Day and present two monetary checks to two very deserving families who have now made children a part of their family. One of the tenets of Links Incorporated is friendship and service, and what better way to show our friendship and demonstrate our service than to support these families. It was our privilege.
And for longtime soon-to-be retiring Judge Bradley Boyd, this emotional day was bittersweet. After serving for decades in Fulton's justice system, this year's ceremony will be his last.
I'm going to miss a lot of this, particularly this, Adoption Day. There are some great moments in juvenile court, and this is certainly one of the best, and it's one I treasure every year, and I'm sure that after I leave my position last Saturday before Thanksgiving, I'll be thinking about it.
And on this 2019 National Adoption Day in Fulton, it was a record 18 children who now have a permanent place to call home. Reporting for FGTV, I'm Melissa Lewis.
It was a joy to serve again as Mistress of Ceremony. And still to come, how Fulton's headquarters will look a little bit different next year. We'll explain in our district-by-district coverage next. One Fulton commissioner shares with seniors what the 2020 budget could mean for senior centers, and another gives details about upgrades to Fulton County's Assembly Hall. Here's this week's district-by-district coverage. We begin with an announcement about renovations to Assembly Hall, the gathering spot for Fulton County government business. Affectionately known by some as the People's House, it will soon undergo significant renovations some 20 years after opening its doors.
It's the People's Building, hasn't been renovated or looked at, upgraded for many, many years. So some of my colleagues felt that since we're doing this, let's go all out and take care of the Assembly Hall. The atrium has been a source of controversy from day one, but it is in disrepair.
The chairman says the renovations to Assembly Hall are a part of the county's overall investment in infrastructure improvements. Earlier this year, county leaders celebrated the multi-million-dollar renovations kickoff to the historic Fulton County Courthouse. And Fulton is also in the final phase of its library capital improvement program. Now, as we shared early in the show, Fulton leaders applaud efforts to bring one major service to the people. District 1 Commissioner Liz Hausman commended the Fulton County Tax Commissioner and his staff for the new tag kiosk now located at the Kroger in Johns Creek.
Easy and convenience is a big part of customer service, good customer service. And you know, in Fulton County, one of the problems that people always talk about that affects quality of life is transportation issues. So anytime we can bring a service that's closer to the people where they live and keep them out of traffic, that's a good thing.
The kiosk on State Bridge Road is the 8th vehicle tag renewal kiosk at a Kroger store in Fulton County. The tax commissioner first brought the kiosk to the grocery stores on Metropolitan Parkway in Atlanta and Sandy Springs Place in Sandy Springs. And Commissioner Natalie Hall and the chairman joined in the fun at the 9th vehicle tag kiosk ribbon cutting located in District 4.
This used to be the site of a Kroger that was known in the community as the Murder Kroger, but now we have torn that down and resurrected a beautiful new Kroger with a business office building right near Ponce City Market, and having this kiosk here is going to serve this community very well.
The 6 a.m. to 1 a.m. 7 days a week kiosks are only for Fulton County residents who are renewing their vehicle registration. Drivers who want to get their vehicle tags for the first time, you must still go down to the tax commissioner's main office at the Fulton County Government Center or at one of the satellite sites in the county. For the complete list, visit the county's website and click on the Register Your Vehicle on the home page. And finally, Commissioner Joe Carn shares news about the 2020 proposed budget with seniors at the Helene S. Mills Senior Multipurpose Facility. The District 6 representative told the group during their holiday fellowship that Fulton commissioners have heard their concerns about the state of the county's senior facilities.
We are more than happy to serve our seniors as always. We're in the budget process and we're looking good. We're looking to increase funds for seniors. We're looking at a feasibility study for a new multi-purpose senior center in District 6.
As we mentioned earlier, Fulton County's proposed budget is $1.2 billion, including approximately $758 million in funding for the general fund. In 2019, the county began its plan to revamp senior and multipurpose centers with a $4.9 million investment for facility and equipment upgrades. And when we come back, Fulton's Board of Health team joins one of the world's biggest events aimed at ending the HIV and AIDS epidemic. Stay with us. This is the week that public health agencies highlight World AIDS Day, and even with a week of activities planned, Fulton's Board of Health marked the occasion with a pre-World AIDS Day event. In a packed room at the gathering spot in Northwest Atlanta, Fulton's Board of Health convened a special pre-World AIDS Day breakfast to not only celebrate the work that has been done in 2019, but to also lay out the collective strategy for 2020.
Eliminating HIV is not something that we're going to ever be able to do alone. We need our partners in public health, our partners in community, and even the input and partnership of our clients and the consumers. And so this event is a day where we can all get together and join together in our commitment to ending this epidemic. We are one community.
It's why the theme for this year's World AIDS Day is We Are One Community, an intentional message about the need for all stakeholders to be involved in ending the epidemic. Partners like the CDC.
Public health, the community, especially people living with HIV and people who are affected by HIV, needs to be part of this, needs to be at the table and part of the solution. They have to be telling us what works for them, and we need to make sure our programs are really tailored to meet their needs, and we should be meeting them where they are.
Everyone in the room was made aware of the sobering statistics about where Atlanta and Fulton County ranks when it comes to HIV and AIDS. Metro Atlanta has the 4th highest rate of new HIV diagnoses among metro areas in the country. And Fulton County ranks 6th highest for new HIV cases among all counties in the U.S.
An entire community, clergy, laity, the entire community has to come together. HIV is not just the responsibility of those with HIV. HIV is the responsibility of those without HIV, because when we come together as one community, we can end this epidemic.
Fulton's former Board of Health director, who is now the state's commissioner for the Department of Public Health, says good ideas are on the table about how to end the epidemic.
I hope that this work that we talked about today will serve as a model, a template to roll out to the state as a whole, and so that we can actually end the epidemic in Georgia, not just in Atlanta.
So on this World AIDS Day week, the message and the mission is clear for Fulton's Board of Health team as it moves to meet its goal of ending new cases of HIV by 2030 And in the meantime, the county is continuing with its weekly services for HIV testing, prevention, and linkage to care. Now, this holiday season, the American Red Cross has put out its annual call for blood donations. Fulton employees have donated at various county facilities all year long, and now, with the expected lull in donations during the holiday weeks, the Red Cross is trying to stock its blood banks. The Red Cross says they are thankful for the partnership.
We do blood drives here at this location 4 times a year, once a quarter, and we are really, really happy that Fulton County has agreed to partner with us and has agreed to exclusively do blood drives with the American Red Cross. And we are just very, very grateful for the opportunity and the partnership that we've developed over the years.
Though Red Cross technicians welcome all blood donations, they say that type O blood is the most needed blood type in hospitals. Type O negative is the universal blood type and is what emergency room personnel reach for in the most serious situations when there is not time to determine a patient's blood type. And type O positive blood can be transfused to any positive blood type patient and is also critical in trauma situations. To schedule a time to donate this holiday season, visit redcross.org. Fulton's youth commissioners are hoping a simulated brush with near death will keep some teens from driving while impaired this holiday season. The young leaders made a presentation at North Springs High School and allowed students to take part in the technological lesson on road safety.
Together with the Governor's Office of Highway Safety, we also partnered with Smart Drivers to provide presentations using a lot of advanced technology like VR headsets to better show students why it is so dangerous to drunk drive and things like that.
According to the Safe Kids organization, more teens die in motor vehicle crashes than from any other cause of death, about 2,500 per year. And fatalities are split almost equally between teen drivers, about 56%, and passengers, about 44%. This virtual simulation by the youth commissioners and the Governor's Office of Highway Safety is geared toward saving lives. And up next on Fulton Today, experiencing some of the county's most iconic and historical sites through the eyes of a local painter. Some of the city and county's prominent architectural sites are now on display inside of the Fulton County Government Center. Staff with the Arts and Culture Department hosted an opening reception for a new art exhibit titled The AAA Experience, Art Atlanta Archive. The exhibition by C.A. the artist features prominent architectural sites in Atlanta and Fulton County through the use of oils, acrylics, and photography. The artist's works focus on overcoming obstacles as shown through images of classic cityscapes, landmarks, exotic cars, and sports icons.
Atlanta is a prominent place in itself. I wanted to highlight the central aspects of the city within their landmarks, and it's art within the buildings and art within the culture. So that's one of the reasons I featured Atlanta, is because it has so much culture within the buildings and the artwork.
The AAA Experience is on display inside the Government Center next to the Peachtree entrance until December 12th. The exhibit is free and it's open to the public. And just in case you parents are thinking of ways to keep your children entertained during the winter break, we wanted to remind you about which libraries have reopened and which ones are currently closed. The libraries that have reopened include Dogwood, East Point, Fairburn, Sandy Springs, Evelyn G. Lowry Library at Southwest, Washington Park, and West End. The closed library list includes Roswell, OC, Buckhead, Northside, Northeast Rural Oaks, Mechanicsville, Adams Park, Adamsville Collier Heights, Cleveland, College Park, East Atlanta, Hateville, and Ponce, which will be named for the late Commissioner Joan Garner. All of the closed libraries, including the Central Library in downtown Atlanta, are scheduled to reopen in 2020. The Library Capital Improvement Program is a 2-year project to redesign and modernize 23 of the county's 34 libraries. And before we go, our reminder that FGTV wants to connect with you online. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for up-to-date Fulton County news. And you can also watch a replay of this show and any other FTTV program anytime on our YouTube channel. So please subscribe. Well, that does it for this edition of Fulton Today. I'm Shania Chavis. Thank you so much for watching. Join us each week for news around and about Fulton County.